Welcome to After the Cut. I'm here with my man, Draven. He has his own podcast, 720, and on Autumn. Shout out to Autumn. Wish you was here, but we can bring you here soon, bro.
Absolutely.
Jay?
Thank you for having me, my bro.
No doubt, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you for the shout out too. That's 720 podcast, man. It's just a space where, two black men are being vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? We share our life's experiences and hopes. You know what I'm saying? That it touches somebody else.
How you feeling today? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good, man. I can't lie, man. It was definitely a trying week, right? But I just got to be persistent and stuff like that. You know what I mean? One thing I learned is it's all about perception. Maybe the problem really isn't as big as you think it is. You know what I'm saying? Like we got like 11, 12 videos out right now. If we don't have the views that, you know what I'm saying, that I'd like to see, thousands of views or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, the views don't define my success. And me and Autumn, we were just talking what if God organized this podcast just to help you and I? We both have sons, right? So it's extremely important, you know what I'm saying, to be cautious of the things you say, like stop crying, big boys don't do that, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be, because that stuff then shows up in your adult life. I just have to be extremely cautious of what I say, how I move, because one day that boy is going to mimic everything that I did,
Right.
Like everything that he saw, you know what I mean? But I mean, just being vulnerable is so important, because like you say, we don't see it in the black community specifically. And if you do showcase vulnerability, you're weak. You're a coward. You're soft.
And they like to say you
Or that.
you know what I'm saying? And that's what really rubbed me the wrong way. That why I gotta be telling you how I
Because
feel.
you know what I'm saying?
But then the emotion we express the most be anger. So it's like you calling me this and that third, but not express anger and put myself in a position that's bad for everybody.
Correct.
I'm considered that he a real nigga.
Right.
He this, that, and the third.
Right.
But really, I just put my life online to validate an opinion that you had about me.
And sometimes it's not even about the response that we want from the other person. It's just about us getting it off our chest and saying it aloud. In most cases, women are the ones to be vulnerable. When something's bothering you, you typically go to your wife, your mom, just a woman figure.
Right.
Because we're not used to men giving us the response that we may need in that moment.
Right.
So that's why we created the podcast, is because, he and I have in-depth conversations all the time. Very personable, very emotional, right? But I'm getting what I would normally get from a woman, from a man, like my brother.
Not to say nothing bad when talking to a woman about it, because they're nurturers naturally, so they're gonna understand you from a different aspect.
Exactly.
You may need that pillow or that cushion at that moment.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But then you also need the real too. That's why you gotta talk to your brother about it, because if he really your friend, he's gonna tell you, hey man, you tripping. Hey man, it's really not that bad. Like you making it bigger than what it gotta be, bro. So you complaining about what's going on right now, right? But 10 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe 3 days ago, you didn't even have what you got right now.
Come on.
And people in the backdrop that's going through what you used to go through, they really, really struggling. So it's like you upset because you having a slow day, slow month, or just a bad day in general. Some people live in a shelter. I used to live in a shelter. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and them days weren't pleasant. You got through those days, and that's what keep me grounded. You can remember those moments in my life to where now I can't wait to get out of here.
Oftentimes, the success is great, the money is great, the accolades are great, but again, we have to realize that those things are an addition of you, and they don't define you. Your past and everything that you've experienced up to this point has made you the man that you are today. So anything that I get past this point, it's just an addition.
That's the problem a lot of people have too, because like, and you say that because, and I bring it up because you're able to say that and be okay with who you are. A lot of people really not okay with who they are.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Or maybe it's just that maybe they are okay with who they are, but they feel they gotta be more than what they are to people who's watching, because Instagram and social media made it seem like I gotta be larger than life in order to have a good life. You know what I'm saying? So now you define your success off of what you see from somebody else. So if you compare yourself to somebody else, dog, you never be satisfied, because they're gonna keep doing more. If you falling behind this person, like they hit the brakes and you pass them. But then once you pass, what you gonna do? Because nothing you did was original.
Right. You'll find somebody else to compare to.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's something that I struggle with personally, and we've had several conversations about this.
Right.
I'm so fixated on what's happening to this person for that person. I'm not appreciating what God has gifted me with.
Right.
I'm not nurturing my gift. I'm not feeding my gift or putting my gift out into the earth, because I'm so like I said, fixated on this person and what they got going on.
Right.
Right? That's not the way to go about it. You know, like you say, we have to be comfortable with ourselves, comfortable with who we are. Me and my boy stripped it down on a podcast, and we was like, you know, and I'll use you for example, right? Without the skill, like not Randy the barber, not Randy the father, not Randy the husband, who were you? You know what I mean?
Right.
And once you strip yourself of all those titles and all the roles that you play in people's lives, just think about it. Who are you?
Right.
What do you like to do? You know what I mean?
Right.
And you know, he posed that question to me, bro, and it was difficult for me to even come up with a response because I'm like, damn, who am I?
Talking about validation and things that we did
Yeah.
in the past, right? Or how people feel. So I know you come from a college background.
Mm-hmm.
What made you decide to say, you know what, corporate cool, but I got to do my own things?
I'm a finance major, and I'm actually, you know, in the process of getting my master's degree now.
Okay.
Right? Why I decided to go to college? Because I knew that it was necessary for me to live the life that I wanted to live, or so I thought back then.
Okay.
Right? You know, for me in finance, you know, I couldn't get into certain doors or through certain companies without this piece of paper. So I knew that it was a part of the journey. I knew that it's something that I had to do. I always had my dreams and my goals in mind, right? But I knew I didn't come from a family of wealth or whatever the case may be. So I had to progress in life in many steps. That being college. Okay, with this degree, I secure somewhat, you know, the financial aspect of it, right? I don't necessarily have the time right now because I'm working 9 to 5, 5 days a week. You feel me? So on the weekends, you know, I invest in whatever that dream or that goal was at that time. You know, I don't want to play by anybody else's rules. Right?
All right.
Bro, like I'm very creative, but the role that I'm in, it doesn't call for that creativity. You feel me?
Right.
So it's just like, you know, I just got to play the long game. I'm going to do what I got to do to advance in the corporate world. You know what I'm saying? To gain the wealth or the finances that I need to, like I say, continue to pour into my dreams. And eventually I will do, you know, podcasts, you know, being an angel investor and all those other things. I'll eventually do that full time, right? But patience, it just takes patience.
A lot of people in corporate America want to be entrepreneurs and vice versa. But it's like, bro, if you got to do this for you. And then too, like you use that corporate America to build your entrepreneur vision. You know what I'm saying? You can fund it like that, or you can see how they handle business and finance your business. A lot of things you can take from everything that you do. Nothing's a waste of time. You know what I'm saying? You gotta think about why you're there and what's your purpose. Why are you there and what's the purpose of you being there?
Bro, all things work together for the good. So the analytical skills, the people skills, the organization skills, or whatever that I'm getting in corporate America, I'll then use when I'm a CEO one day of my own company.
I saw one of your episodes and you talk about how your friends and family is supporting you like you would like them to. My question to you, because I listened to the whole podcast, so the question to you is, do you really have to, or is that entitlement only that you expect it from them? And at the end of the day, I look at it like this: it's not their dream. So of course you want to support, but they like, man, that's your thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it could be jealousy, or it could be the fact that they just ain't feeling it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and you know, when I first posed that, you know, my take on it was, if they're my friends or whatever the case may be, it should be implied that they support me in whatever endeavor that I have, right? I didn't think that I should have conversations with anybody about support if we're as close as we are. And that was my take on that. But going through that, right, I had many conversations with, you know, many people in my life. Some were offended by it and some weren't. But I just had all of these conversations from what I said on the podcast that day. And going through that, you know, I've had a change of heart. I've had a change of mind. Although I would like them to support me, I just can't put my expectations on them.
right.
If they relate to it, great. If they don't, great. But that does not mean they care about you or love you any less than they already did before whatever business endeavor that was.
I look at it like this, man, because I hadn't wanted everybody to support me as far as me being a barber, as far as me having a pole line at one point, my brother, our product line, all those things I did. And it's like, it's an entitlement that you have or an expectation you have from them. They really don't owe that to you. You know what I'm saying? You will, cause even though you'll do the same thing, they kind of owe that to you. So I looked at it like that. So that's how I started taking it personal.
Yeah.
So they really owe that to me. But at the same time, this is good, but But at the same time, being that you don't buy it to me, don't look for a discount, don't look for a handout, you know, thing, because
Right.
at the end of the day, you're admitting that I'm expecting you to do that because I need your help.
Yeah.
So you're not helping me, so don't expect help in return.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That favor in return when you need it.
Right,
You know?
right.
And depending on who you are, you still may do it because it's who you are.
Correct.
But me, I'm buying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, facts.
I told you, that's
No, absolutely. And the biggest thing that I learned in that moment is you can't expect you from other people.
But at the end of the day, man, it's all have to circle back because you know how it go. Like they're not there at first, and then they get big. Hey, what's up? Now they know you.
Yeah.
They want to talk. This and that, third. I still love them. I'm still going. You still love them, but it's, you know, you're thinking like, I needed you at one point, bro. Really come down to like I
needed you. Yeah.
And I really did. You know what I'm saying?
And that just goes back to being vulnerable, bro.
Yeah.
We can't be so prideful that, you know, we prevent our own progress.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like going out to your homie or, you know, the wife, whatever the case may be, saying, look, I need you. I need you to support me because, you know, you like if you repost this, guess like you have the potential to show this to, I don't know, 1,000 of the followers that you may have.
Right.
You know, you'll never know who it touches.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why support is needed. And that's why it's so big. But like you said, we as men need to be able to vocalize that and say that.
Absolutely. Something we all got to work on. You're new to fatherhood.
Yes.
How has that been going for you? Because I know how it would be. You know
Bro,
what I'm saying?
it's tough. It was a very big adjustment, right? My fiance, you know, has been working with kids since, you know, she's graduated.
Right.
So, you know, that patience, I believe, was already there for her.
Gotcha.
Right? She knew what to expect. Like my sisters, like they babysitted it and stuff like that. But when I was ready to give you back, I could do that because you weren't my kid.
Right.
Right?
Right.
I can't do that.
Nah, you gotta eat that.
I gotta eat it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know, I can't put it all on my lady either.
Nah, you can't.
I can't.
I mean, it's not fair.
Yeah, it's not
Even
fair.
though a lot of times they don't mind it because that's what they want to do in the first place. Because that's why when they get older, they treat them like babies because they want the babies and things.
Yeah.
But they need a break too.
Yeah.
Especially during those times because they get real tired.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, you be tired too, but you know, they done did all the work. I mean, you just, you know, you was there for 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Keeping it stack.
Yeah, no fact.
From you know how I go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but shoot, it's just about manning up for real.
Yeah.
You got a responsibility, right? And you were a motivating factor for me from the jump. Because when I met you, you were already a father, right? Building your brand or whatever the case may be. Because when I met you, Randy Cuts wasn't what it is now when I met you.
Not at all.
Not at all, right? But you know, one thing that you've always encouraged me to do even before I had my kid was, man, to just be an honest man. Be an honest man and live right. You know, and you even told me, you know, because you look at me like your little bro, I kept you on your toes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can't move how I used to because somebody, you know what I'm saying, outside of my son, you know, he's looking up to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you for playing that role from the
No
jump.
doubt. Even when you fucking up, like people thinking like, yeah, honestly only telling the good side of things. Nah, honestly also telling them when you make mistakes, bro.
Yeah.
Because that's respected. You know, it may hurt the person you being honest with. At the same time, you giving that person an option. Because damn, it's like hiding something from somebody is gonna hurt more.
Yeah.
Come up from somebody else said you just, hey man, hey, you know, they said, hey, you know, whoever you're talking to, like, yo, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And now they got the option to deal with how you deal with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's honestly not always a pretty thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mine is easy. If I hide something from you, that's easy. It's killing you. If you got content, it'll kill you for a long time. But at the same time, it's like, well, I gotta wait scot free. So eventually it kind of fades away. You know what I mean? But then like, oh, you think it faded away, nothing, you know, pop, right back in your face. Now you gotta deal with it.
Now,
You could deal with it 3 years ago. Now you're dealing with it right
You know
now.
what I'm saying?
You done changed. You know, grew past that.
mhm.
You're dealing with something that you did 3 years ago when you wasn't who you are at that moment.
And now it's in your face and it's affecting you, you know, in different ways than it could have, you know what I'm saying,
Exactly.
3 years ago.
Exactly. So and the person that you telling it to, they like, yeah, why ain't you told me that before? Because I could have made a decision back then. Whether I gonna keep you as my friend, spouse, girlfriend, whatever it was back then. You know what I'm saying? So you didn't give me the option to continue to be a part of your life, or you be a part of my life.
Facts.
So then it's kind of like betrayal. How they look at that. You know what I mean? Because now like everybody, they all know about this situation. I'm not looking stupid. So now more so if you lied to me, he got me looking crazy out here.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? So you gotta understand that point of view to somebody, bro.
Absolutely.
And I always told, like, and even when I go pray, man, I don't say, like, I don't ever say I made mistakes. I feel like a kid made mistakes. And when you get older, you make decisions. You know exactly what you're doing before you do it. Not no mistake. You know what you're doing. Right. So I pray to God, you know, for my sake, you know, for my decisions. Because I knew 100% what I was about to do before I did it.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
That's the real. You know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
That's why I had a post. I said I'm more like David than I am John the Baptist. John the Baptist, you know, he was almost perfect in a sense. You know what I'm saying? From what I've read,
right.
David did everything.
Yeah,
that's me. Like I took my hand cookie jar. I got the call point. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
I did all kind of things that I'm not proud of. Something I am proud of. Back in the day, I still go back, repent, pray, do what I do. That's what I believe, and I'm doing that since I was 14 years old.
Come on.
And I wasn't raised in no church, bro. You know what I'm saying? I remember mom, she tried to laugh at this year. Remember we was outside in Buffalo. You know, Buffalo was stupid and cold all the time. So one day, this going back to me not being in church. Yeah. It was hot. It was real hot outside, right? Mom said, "It's hot out here, man. It's hot as hell. We probably need to go to church." You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And me, as a kid, I giggle a little bit.
Yeah.
We don't go to church, you know what I mean?
No, fact.
Then I came out here. Now I met my man Jason. He don't remember me when he was a kid, but they got me going into that and believing. So, you know, I'm more so being conscious of what I'm doing.
Right.
And knowing that there's somebody else greater than me and watching me. You know what I'm saying? But I shouldn't know about none of this stuff. You know what I mean? I'm you know what I'm saying? My family will come from that. You know what I mean? If you go back to my father, my mom, of course they great people. But they backgrounds are different than mine and yours.
Right.
And that's why a lot of times like you get upset with your parents, but you really don't understand them because they think from a place from back then.
Yeah. Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, you don't understand. Well, no, I'm not, because that's not how I was programmed.
Yeah.
Now you got to reprogram them to think a little bit like you so they can understand you more. So that's how the collision come between misunderstandings of this and this person. At the same time, you gotta respect your parents.
You have to.
You know what I'm saying?
We just have to be open to progression, and we have to be open to progression and very considerate.
Right.
Because, like you say, came from two different times. Right. How y'all got down back then is not how we get down now. Right. And even for you, you know what I'm saying, being a parent, right? And your kids are growing up, you seeing things like, wait, we ain't do like this. Right. So you just have to be considerate and be aware, be conscious that, man, like we are not living in the same day and age. We are not playing by the same rules like we used to. You got a lot of people out here, you know, co-signing the wrong things. Right. We tend to co-sign the wrong things. It's like, you know, like you say, nah, don't co-sign this one decision I made, this one bad decision that I made. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see how I am with my kids. Right. You see how I treat other people out into the world. You know my heart. Right. So don't let this one decision, you know, define the rest of my life. You feel me? It's unfair, number one. Right. And number two, it's just like, you know, whether we know right from wrong or not, we all make very bad decisions. Ones that have more impact than others, right? But we just have to be forgiving. I'm not telling nobody to forget. Right. But if you're going to forgive and move on, don't continue to remind that person of that bad decision. Right. If you go move forward with them, move forward, period. Right. And think about not forgetting is like you said, not keep on bringing it back up. Forgetting it is like, okay, I remember how you did this, so I'm going to keep myself from repeating that pattern to make me remember what you did. I haven't forgotten. Now I kind of know how to deal with you, dealing with where issue that was. Yes, I'm going to move differently concerning where issue that was. Come on, you know what I'm saying? That's when you mean you don't forget. Not saying I didn't forgive you, or maybe I really didn't forgive you. I'm not sure. But at the same time, you protecting yourself because I don't want to completely forget and be naive and you repeat the same back to me again. Now I'm mad all over. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, forgetting is really it's you know what's a good question? Is forgiveness forgetting? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. And I have a problem with that, bro. Right. I will not forget. I remember when we only made from 10 years ago. Yeah. I couldn't do hair. This nigga got, I'm saying, he'd be back. Back then, like $13. Yeah. I ain't saying nigga sex. Still when you 13. I know he would look like a whole nine. Like, yo, I need my $13. Listen, he said, I'm taking that to the grave. That's hilarious. I don't need it, but it's like, back then I needed it. But now, of course, I'm like, damn. But it just goes back to what I said. Did I really forgive him? I don't know. Like I said again, I'm on the fence about it. Right.
And even going back to that, it's like the business I'm in, I feel like people take it for granted, and they kind of like they don't respect what we do. It's me talking for a lot of barbers too, because I know a lot of guys go through the same thing. Like you try to you doing stuff to secure your family and your future, by putting work in that people at one point said was a waste of time. Remember my first being a barber, you mean a barber, but you wasting your life away. Now they complain about how barbers do business, which is crazy. And somebody said to me recently, his friend said, I can say his name, but he know what I'm talking about. He said, yeah, y'all charging, he using y'all to pay his rent, to get a haircut. Your haircut paying his rent. I'm like, that's kind of strange. He like, I said, well, ask your friend this. He has a job, right? He gets a salary, right? Yeah. He don't pay his rent with the money he made.
You're doing the same.
You're doing the exact same thing.
Right.
So what's the issue?
You feel me?
For me, that was a comment like, did you really think about what you said? So I repeated back to him, like, go tell him that's what you really think about that. That didn't make no sense.
That's silly. You kicked it to me years ago, right? You had said to me, okay, Draven, let's say you have this job, you're working this job,
right,
and you get better at it, right? And you're bringing the company, business, you're bringing the company, dollars, whatever the case may be. Don't you think you should be rewarded for that? Don't you think that, like, if you get better at a task or a certain duty, that you should also get paid more because you're becoming more valuable? I said yes. You said, okay, so why is that not the case for barbers?
Right, especially when you've been doing something for 10, 15 years.
Bro.
I'm like, bro, so I had a conversation with a good friend of mine, because he got it after I said this to him. I'm like, yo, how long you been doing what you've been doing? He said, like 10, 15 years. I said, so if you've been doing it for 10, 15 years, right? You in the same center you got 10 years ago, 15 years from now? He's like, man, yeah. Thinking about it now. He's like, yeah, I didn't think about that. You should. Because this is a career choice for me, bro. This ain't no hustle. You got guys who do it for hustle, but I ain't doing it for that reason. Yeah. I'm taking care of what I gotta take care of.
This is how I feed
my family. Yeah. This is a talent that God gave me in order for me to do that. You know what I'm saying? So don't get mad about how I do it. And you got options for other people. So when people get mad at prices, and I don't get mad at people who get mad at prices. I really don't. Because when I look at it like this, that you really want to come, but it's really not in your budget. So you're gonna say negative things to make yourself to believe in your head, like, nah, I just ain't gonna do it because but you ain't there yet. Ain't nobody mad at you for that. Don't bash a person that's been where you were, who got further than that. And that same person like me, I'm going to pray that you get more money. I'm going to pray that you get blessed at your job and promoted and that and third. I want everybody to do well around.
That's what you told me.
You know what I'm saying? And that's really something I really do. You know what I'm saying? That's what I really want. Like, my clients they do what they think. I call them guests now. That's how I treat about like a guest now. I look at it like, bro, man, I want you to do well. When you successful, when you get a new whip, you get a new house, congratulations. I'm not mad at you at all. I don't even care how you got it. Look, congratulations, bro. You doing better than you was yesterday.
So,
thank you for coming on.
Thank you, man. I love what you're doing. Thank you for having me, bro.
No doubt, man. Shout out 720.
Thank you.
That's next up.
Come on.
Tune in. You got two dudes on there. Figure how they really feel about life in general. And it's very relatable at the same time. You know what I'm saying? It's very relatable. I watched it. Y'all silly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Definitely funny. Arnold is a funny guy.
He is hilarious.
He's a funny guy, man. I really wish y'all success, and I wish y'all to do well, man.
Thank you, bro.
And my joint ain't even up yet. I'm shouting y'all out just because it ain't about who's in front of each other, dog.
It's just about collaborating and supporting one another.
Absolutely. I can't wait to come on y'all show.
Likewise, man.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying, man?
I'm at both y'all here next. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we gotta definitely get together and make it happen, bro. Thank you.
Yes, sir, man. Love. Peace.